Hey everybody, starting out the day here. I'm at W.Chester State College, W.Chester, Pennsylvania. Let's see what happens. It took me, I had gone the wrong place to get even though I did reconnaissance. I thought it was a parking garage that they were sending me to because somehow I lost the map. So I had to go back to security. And they had to give me another map and tell me where to go and all that stuff. So it's all right. I'm here now. Maybe 20 minutes longer than I wanted to be. But that's all right. Gotta set this up. Gotta get my bungees. I'm gonna leave these on. Oh. Got to turn that one around. That's not right. Yes, that's it. This is what is called a teacher's college. W.Chester is known for its putting out the teachers. So this is going to be a good one, hopefully, because I'm going to get to say you're responsible for what you teach. You know, if you teach a lie, you're responsible for that lie. So let me see what I can do here, getting this on. Straighten out the banners. I loop those over now so that kind of holds them a little bit. It is like a gorgeous day, and there's like wind. Wind is the biggest factor with the banners. So if you can hold back the wind, then you're doing pretty good. Okay. So there's hardly any wind. It's supposed to go up to 77, which is going to be warm. But, you know, you don't know exactly. There's people in shorts and sandals, which is good. They're young. I think I'll put them on the front too. And it really smells good because this is the French fries place for the kids. There we go. All right, let's get going. Got a lot of ground to cover. I got a lot of information to give out. And there's my keys, can't misplace them. Okay, what do I got? All right, I think I got everything. Lock. Okay. Now, where's this freaking map here? Holy cow. I need to go over to that circle. So I'm there. So I just need to go over to church. So I go up that way, over to church, and then I'm good. But you know what? I wanted to go this way. Because I think I can go that way. Just to get out and around. All right, a little malfunction here. There we go. Yeah, there's a couple kids out. You guys ever heard about flat Earth? I can give you the evidence really quick. Yep, I'm getting looks already. I should be handing out stuff. Where are they? All right. You want to see the evidence? I got to find out where I'm at. So I got to go down there. Take a left on Church. Oh no, go in between. All right. Did you take a picture? Yeah, take a picture. Did you get it? How about the other side? It's different. Now you guys, this is a teacher's college. So you have to be responsible for what you teach. You cannot teach lies. So you got to research it yourself. Have a good day. Guys hear about flat Earth? You can look it up yourself. There's the information. Did you ever look this up yourself? You can look it up. You have to, if you're a teacher, you're responsible for what you teach. Flat Earth, guys. Did you ever hear about this? Look it up. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Earth is flat. Look it up. Did you? You just have to know physics, that's all. No, I'm not kidding. My dad was a math teacher. Okay, Frank. So did you ever hear about the flat Earth? You can look it up. But here's all the evidence. Let me start the other side. You got a minute? Yeah, I didn't think you were doing much. This is a flat Earth map. North Pole's in the center. Antarctica goes all the way around the outside edge. See all these world organizations? They use the flat Earth map, but they leave off Antarctica. They don't want you to know that it goes around the outside edge. Did you know that the horizon is always at your eye level? No matter how high you go, it's always at your eye level. Now, how can that be? Because the horizon is a product of perspective, how your eyes work. Yep, it's not a real place, it's a product of perspective, which is this. So you have to study perspective. That's why they're eliminating the art classes. So on a flat surface, a reflection will give you a line like that. Okay? If it's a curved surface, you take glossy paper and bend it and go up to a light bulb, all you get is a little spot. But the line is reality. So how come they're lying to us? Look at this, star trails. We got North Pole in the center. You leave your aperture open, you're going to get concentric circles. This is what Antarctica looks like. It's the edge. You ever see this? Crepuscular rays coming out of a cloud? That's because the sun is there. It's not 93 million miles away. I think it's like 10 miles. It's very small and close. Yep. So what else? So, well, we have pictures from space, right? So these are the pictures you get from space. Which one is the true one? What's that? United States, right? What's that? United States. Which one's right? The other side's different. You can take two pictures. But see,
the other side flat also?
It's got different stuff on it. This is the scientific method. You got to follow that if you're a scientist. They don't. This is what happens really. We live in a toroidal electromagnetic field. Comes up out of the North Pole, comes around, goes down at Antarctica. I got a thing for that. Where is that? You a science guy at all?
I really don't care about this anymore.
Okay. I know, it really just,
It's just mind-blowing.
it is mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing.
So look it up.
All right.
You guys into science at all?
Yeah.
You think you can comprehend anything I'm telling you? I don't want to talk too fast, you know. Right here. This is the best flat Earth map we've got. North Pole's in the center. Antarctica goes all the way around the outside edge. See? All these world organizations use the flat Earth map, but they leave off Antarctica. I don't think they want you to know. It goes around the outside edge.
Yeah.
It's not a continent at the bottom. So here we have Lake Michigan. 60 miles, you got Chicago.
I'll call you back.
We have a formula based on a 24,901 equator. And that's what we came up with, and that's verified. 8 inches times a mile squared. That gives you your parabola. So we are not supposed to see Chicago. It should be hidden under 2,400 feet of curvature. We should be looking through the water to see it, but it's right there. How is that? We have zoom cameras now that can zoom in like 100 miles. So that's right there. Shouldn't be able to see it. Why is that? There's Caprea, 102 miles away. I went to Oregon, I saw all 5 mountains. You know, Helens, Rainier. Yeah, shouldn't be able to see all that. Here we go, a reflection on a flat surface. And look, it goes right on the table. That'll give you the line. This is reality, is the line. If you curve the surface, you only get a little spot. The horizon is always at your eye level, no matter how high you go. Airplane, I have a video from a pilot in our community at 37,000 feet, and the horizon's right up there with him. And guess where the sun is?
Right there.
Below the horizon line. How can that happen? So, if you study perspective, which is kind of like an art class or an architect's thing, you'll figure this out, because perspective has to do with our eyes and not a place. This is star trails. That's Polaris. That's reality right there. And this is what they teach in the schools right here. That's what they teach in the schools. That, you know, the sun's moving, Milky Way's moving, all the planets are trying to catch up. You think you'd get star trails with that model right there?
No.
Not me. I'm not falling for it. So why are they doing this? They want to see if they can fool us, because if they can fool us, they can rule us. They can do whatever. They can tell us that there's weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East, and we'll just jump on those boats and run over there and get killed. Why would we do something like that? Okay? It's the governments that are having all these wars. It's not the people. So I want everybody to wake up and stop all this killing and figure out the government's lying to us. Did you take a picture? If you go on this website, you can have a card too, if that's better. You go on this website, I'm on there, and my favorite videos, /begin, will give you my favorite videos to get you started on this journey.
Awesome.
It'll take you a couple weeks, but you got to study things now. You just might get smarter, so don't be afraid of that.
Thank you.
How about you?
I'll take a card.
Sure you will.
Thank you.
Do you know what? I was born a redhead.
Really?
Redheads are Tartarians. Did you ever hear that?
No.
Look that one up. We're looking into that stuff too. It was a great, great nation and they built all of the Capitol buildings that you find in the United States. They were here long before we got here. Think of that one. Do you have any questions, guys? I'm happy to answer your question.
No, I'm good.
Yeah? Just start on this journey.
Yeah.
Because, you want to be smart. Don't want people lying to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Anybody want to hear about some evidence for the flat Earth? Don't be afraid. You don't have to agree with me. All right. See, the thing is, I talk loud enough that everybody's going to hear me no matter what. I just need one person to say yes. So you know that the horizon is always at your eye level, no matter how high you go. Up in a plane, 37,000 feet, up Mount Everest, it doesn't matter. Horizon is always right there. Okay, so it's a product of perspective. It's how your eyes work at a distance, okay? Everything kind of vanishes. You see a ship go over the curvature? That's not going over the curve, it's going into the vanishing line. If there's 4 planes involved, like as there are in railroad tracks, it goes to a point. So that's the vanishing point. Okay, so these are the things you have to know. But this is the flat Earth map, the best one we've got. Of course, all these world organizations use this same map, so they might know something we don't, right? There's the United Nations right there. North Pole's in the center. Antarctica goes all the way around the outside edge. Captain Cook in 1700s, he logged in 60,000 miles. Okay, 1755, right there. And that's what Antarctica looks like. You can't get lost when you have that to your port side. He's just following that around. Took him 3 years. So here we go. Here's Chicago across 60 miles of Lake Michigan. So there's a formula for a 24,901 equator. And that is 8 inches times a mile squared. That will tell you what the curve is. So it doesn't matter if you're an ant on a basketball. There's still going to be that formula you're going to have to deal with. So here we go. Chicago, 60 miles, that should be hidden by 2,400 feet of curvature. None of these buildings are 240 stories. That's what it is. It's like a 240-story building. So here's Capreia, 102 miles away. We should not be seeing these things. That's way too much that we're seeing for that distance. Okay, we have cameras now that zoom in 100 miles, easy. So you got to start looking into this. Here's crepuscular rays. You see them coming out of a cloud on an angle. Now somebody will say, well, that's just perspective. It's really just they look like they're going into the distance. That's why they're closer. No, because underneath that cloud and the rays, there's water, and you look on the water, and it's a perfect circle in the center. So you know it's directly above it. Okay, so what else we got? Concentric circles on, this is called star trails. You leave your aperture open in an old camera. You don't have that these days. I don't know if you can do that. But North Pole's in the center, Polaris. And then you leave it open and you get the circles. Actually, the stars are turning above us. The Earth is stationary and flat, and the stars are moving around above us. So what do we have here? We have this is what NASA gives you. NASA gives you 2 different kinds of pictures, which really are computer-generated images. Everything is CGI. There's only one picture they took from space, and that was through a porthole, and we have the video of that now, how they set that all up. Everybody should take a picture of this and look up, down to bottom, 200 proofs Earth is not a spinning ball, and there's Eric Dubay, And then flatearth101.com is the website I'm connected with. I don't run that, but they have me on there. I go all around. I've been to Temple, been to Penn State, Ambler, been to a lot of community colleges in the area. So I thought I'd come over here and wise you guys up. You're all teachers. You're going to be teachers, right? Teachers are responsible for what they are teaching. You will be held accountable for what you're teaching. So you can't just say, well, it was my job or it was in the book. No, you have to know that it's true because you are going to be held accountable at some point in your life for what you're teaching. So I hope you look into this. All these books right here are censored in the schools, and then we have experiments that prove. So the only satellites that we have are on those weather balloons.
I saw satellites last night.
Yeah, on a weather balloon, or they could be the U-2 planes. That's what the ISS, we think, is really on a U-2 plane, those high-flying planes. And they have and you know what? The government has a lot of stuff nowadays that they're not telling us, like holograms. They can do that. So be careful. But right now, I'm teaching the flat Earth. So once you figure out that it's not a spinning ball, then you'll be questioning all those other things yourself. And you'll come up with your own ideas. I can't prove that there's no satellites, but I can say that there are the ones on the balloons up there. But they come down, you know. We have pictures of them crashing in Brazil and stuff. So, any other questions? I'd be happy to answer you. Come on, fire them at me. All right, I'm going to hit around and have a good day. Hope you look into it. You're welcome. There is no real central place. I might go back to where they were eating lunch. You ladies like to know some information? No, thank you? Okay, no problem. You ever hear about the flat Earth? You want to look it up? Go ahead. You can tell all your friends. You want to know some good stuff?
I think I'm good for today.
You're good for today? How about you? You want to get smart? Nah?
On the flat Earth.
Yeah, did you ever hear about it?
It's kind of ridiculous.
Sounds ridiculous. Absolutely it does. You know why?
I thought it wasn't flat.
No, it is flat.
It is.
Yeah, but we've been taught that it's round and a spinning ball.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it really actually looks like that, and I can give you all the science for it. Yeah.
Oh, this is how it looks.
That's the way it looks. We have, we think that the dome is evidenced by lightning sprites. Really high lightning, and it goes off of the dome. Yeah, it actually is. And it's strange, I know, but this is the flat Earth map. This is the best one we've got, and all these world organizations use the flat Earth map that we have right here. So they know something we don't. That's what I'm suggesting. So North Pole's in the center. Antarctica goes all the way around the outside edge. And Captain Cook in 1755 logged 60,000 miles around Antarctica. So it's not a little continent on the bottom of the ball. So that's what it looks like, Antarctica. And he kept that to his port side and went 3 years and did that exploration.
So do you think the government is trying to...
I know they are. Yes, I absolutely know they are. Now, the governments, you have to know, live by different rules than we do. Law doesn't apply to them. Did that ever get through your head? I mean, it took me...
Yeah, I mean, they make up their own laws.
Yes, they do. And they are not held to what we are held to. So they have this whole different set of things going on. Here we have a curvature formula, 24,901 equator. And here's the formula. 8 inches times a mile squared gives you the curve.
Yeah.
So if you have Chicago across 60 miles of Lake Michigan, and there's Caprea, 102 miles. But Chicago should be down by 2,400 feet. That's like a 240-story building. No, there's no such thing.
Right there, the earth is flat.
It's right there. That's one of our proofs. Here's
Did not know
Caprea, 102 miles away. Yeah. Water always does this. It never does this. Gravity, I can...
Wait, sorry, what are you showing with water there?
Can you explain these guys?
The properties of
It's
water.
always this. It's always flat on the top.
Flat on the top.
Yeah. Where's my ball? Here we go. Water is always flat on the top.
What if when there's...
No matter what you do to it, water will always be flat on the top. That's...
You know what happens when you're up in space where there's no gravity?
We'll talk about gravity if you want to, but look, the bubble here.
Okay, well, gravity is what's holding water onto the earth.
Really? Okay, I can disprove gravity.
Okay.
Okay. If gravity were true, there would be no natural flat places on Earth. Anybody ever hear of the Bonneville Salt Flats? It was a giant salt lake that dried up. If the surface was actually curved, then the bottom would be curved. And it's not. That's why they call it salt flats. See? There's a lot of those flat places on Earth.
Just prove that gravity isn't a thing.
Well, there's nothing holding that on a curve, is there? That's because there is no curve. Now, there is another explanation for what holds us on this Earth. Do you know anything about...
Are you open to... I totally think it's great that you're sharing this with us and that you feel so proven that it isn't round, but to science and to everything that we've proved throughout.
No, to the economic
our
system.
Intelligence.
To the economic system and the people who live by different rules than we do. That's what they are wanting us to believe, because if they can fool us, they can rule us. And right now, there's a
lot more climate issues and things like that I would want to fight for than fighting for the fact that it's flat.
Okay.
What does that even have to
So once you learn that they're lying to us about the ground we're standing on,
what do you prove?
why don't you think they would lie to us about climate change?
Why would they lie? Because...
No, why wouldn't they? If they could lie about the Earth, why wouldn't they lie about everything?
Do you think climate change is a real issue?
I think the climate changes. Is it over time changing dramatically that we should even worry about it? No.
Yeah, it is. And with our human actions...
You have to look at the site that puts it out. Who's down there putting out that website? This is the reason for gravity. That's not gravity.
Happening.
Okay, so you shut down already. Do you have any questions?
No.
You're stuck on climate change, and that kind of trumps.
Pretty interesting.
That trumps the shape of the Earth, climate change. So you have checked out of this conversation. See, because that is more important than the ground you're standing on to you. So that's okay.
Yeah.
Look up that website on that card.
To think about the future of the next generation and years to come.
This is
Earth.
because you know what they're going to do.
I care about what.
Do you know what they're going to do to us? Look up what the Noahide laws are. If you criticize anybody, they'll decapitate you. Yep. Have a good day, guys.
You too. Thank you.
The Earth is flat, sir. You don't know what you're talking about, right? Does anybody want to see the evidence? You want me to come over and show you? No? Don't want to be smart today? See, this is not like a high traffic area. You guys want to hear about the evidence for the flat Earth? Yeah. Yeah, that's a disc. I don't know if the Earth is a disc or not. It could be. It could be. All I know is it's flat on top. What's underneath, I don't know. I'm what?
Denise, you can read and learn.
Yes, you can. Did
Yeah,
you?
exactly, you can. So why don't you?
I know about it. I've been studying it for 2 years.
Yeah, you just said that you don't know what's inside.
No, we only dug a hole 8 miles deep. That's as far as we've dug. So we don't know what's under the other
do.
side. What?
We do.
You do?
Yeah, we
What?
scientists do know.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
Really? Did you know the United Nations has this map right here? The United Nations uses that map. Let's go toe to toe. Here we go. Torus fields.
I don't really need
Torus field. Do you know?
time or energy
It's
for that.
diamagnetism, not gravity. Not gravity. Yeah, you can't handle it because you know you're responsible for what you teach the kids. Personally.
Are all the planets flat then?
Well, the planets, all we know about the planets are that they are two-dimensional because that's all we can see.
Okay.
We cannot see them as a sphere. If you look at a telescope, you can't tell it's a sphere.
Excuse me. Who's lying to us?
Who?
Who is?
The governments, and I say all of them together, because ever since the Antarctic Treaty, that's as far back as I know, and I think even before, all the governments, 53 signed on to that in 1949, was
There are a
it?
treaty that says that nobody can inhabit Antarctica, and it's
That
only
can't
used for
even
studying
explore
grounds.
there.
Yes.
You cannot free explore
It's also
Antarctica.
uninhabitable because only like
That's
microorganisms can
that's
grow
what
there.
you know because that's what they
science
told you.
Yes, science has proven it over and over again. The scientific
Really?
method.
So
works
tell
on
me
things.
then, tell me then this. I've studied everything, and I know you want to tell me how smart you are, but I've studied all that. Tell me why Senator John Kerry flew 300 miles in from the edge of Antarctica and went there. Why would he do
What
that?
year did you do that?
Like last year,
Senator John Kerry
Yes.
flew to Antarctica last year.
and flew 300 miles in from the edge. Now, what would be there if it was just so cold? It's not so cold because the Torus field makes
I
it.
don't know what you're talking about.
Torus field makes it habitable.
Magnetic field.
Yes. This
The
is
North and South Pole that create a magnetic
this is the
field
North
around the Earth.
Pole. This is the South Rim. This is Antarctica. Goes all the way around the outside edge. North Pole's in the center. All these world organizations use the flat Earth map, but they leave off Antarctica.
Okay, so what I think we're viewing here is an image of Earth from a sphere and then pulled up to flat so you can see it from a bird's eye view potentially.
Well, actually, that's what they did to create the globe. They just sliced it up and then made it into a ball.
We created a globe.
Yeah,
From that
the
image.
globe is actually the deception, not the flat Earth. The flat Earth has been known forever, and they created the globe. And they turned it into a spinning ball.
They created a globe from a flat Earth. I think
From
that
a flat
image
Earth map.
uses a globe to create a
If
flat Earth.
we live on a flat plane, based on a 24,901 equator, there's our curvature formula. That's not ours, it's everybody's. It's been proven, okay? So your horizon is always at your eye level, no matter how high you go. It's a function of your eyes. So here's Chicago across Lake Michigan, 60 miles. That should be hidden under 2,400 feet.
How high have you taken?
6 feet.
6 feet?
Yeah, 6 feet off the ground.
Okay. So if you're at ground level, you wouldn't be able to see that. But depending on your perception or parallax,
You
can
absolutely
see.
would see it because look.
Have you guys ever been there? Look.
If the Earth is flat, what's on the other side?
I don't know.
I'm excited to find
So
out.
do you know
We
that,
only dug a hole 8 miles deep. That's as far as we ever
do you
dug.
know the universe
How thick do you
favors
think
spherical
this, like,
objects?
disc is?
I know the universe. If you talk about Big
I'm
Bang,
not going to take your card.
you don't have to.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So the Big Bang says nothing exploded, and then all of a sudden some things appeared and they were spinning, and then the friction in the vacuum of space, which is not supposed to have friction, and it all created balls and they're all spinning around, right?
Okay, so
But angular momentum says they all should be spinning the same way, and they're not. If they're there, and they're not.
the Big Bang isn't necessarily an explosion.
No, look in a mirror, sir.
The Big Bang is not necessarily an explosion. It's
No, but you can see stupid.
It is an infinitesimally tiny spot that started to rapidly expand, and it's not necessarily an explosion. And what was the point you were trying to make with that again? Sorry. With the Big Bang.
The Big Bang says everything is a ball. See, that's what they're saying, and I'm saying that
The Big Bang
on
says
the on the.
everything is a ball. Well, gravity is a ball.
No, I'll disprove gravity here in a second.
Okay.
but this is what we think it looks like because there's evidence of a dome if you look up lightning sprites. They come off of the dome. And we have a pressurized system, so you can't have pressurized system next to a vacuum without a physical barrier.
I'm sorry, that doesn't make any sense to me.
So we're flat.
Well, I know because you don't really, I don't want to insult you, but you're really not educated in these things.
Interesting.
So if you study these things, I don't want you to accept it today, but I do want you to look into these things and start studying, okay? And then you'll understand some of these, like perspective and pressurized systems, crepuscular rays, the physics properties of water, all those things.
Fluid dynamics?
Yeah, sure. And look, a reflection on a flat surface, you get a line. What's reality? Right there's reality.
What is reality? That's a
You
good
get the
question.
reality right there. That's what you see. Did you ever go to the water and look at a sunset or sunrise? Or?
Yes.
Okay, that's what you get. Don't you get the line? Don't you get a line?
Yes.
Okay, good job. But if it's a curve, you only get a little spot. So we shouldn't be seeing lines. And I know it's a wacky idea to think because ever since we were little, and believe me, I've learned this a lot longer than you guys.
Because we're young.
Because you're younger.
So we don't know. Because we're young.
There's a lot of things you don't know.
I'll
There's a
admit that.
lot. So, if you believe everything the government tells you, you're still going to be lost. Good. Question everything.
If you were to trust the government, absolutely, we would live in a totalitarian regime.
That's where we're headed. That's exactly where we're
In a
headed.
democracy, we're not headed.
No. And this is not a democracy. It's supposed to be a republic, and we don't even live in a republic anymore. Because the laws that apply to us do not apply to them.
Now, if you... So going to hear this missing temperature thing, we live on a giant ball. And because we're so small, anywhere that we exist, it's going to seem like a flat
Yes,
plate.
it does seem like that.
Yes, because we're so small compared
But-
to the size of the globe.
But you can't argue with this.
I don't even know what that is.
That's a curvature formula. And if you go on the Earth curvature calculator on the internet,
Curvature calculator.
yeah, it has it right there. It's the
Was
same
that created
thing.
by this?
No,
It was not created by people that believe the Earth is flat.
no,
Curvature calculator.
no. 24,901 is the equator. You ask anybody, it's all the same. We agree with that figure. Now you figure out what would be a curvature calculation for that figure. You figure that out, and then you go test it. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
You take the information, you go test it. Is it reality? Is it where I live? Is it the Earth I'm standing on?
I can't answer what is reality. That's too far out of any of our scopes of knowledge to answer.
No, it's not.
From a frame of
No,
reference.
no. See, now
Reality?
don't take something abstract and think that you can get away from studying this. Because this is what you have to study and you have to go find evidence. That's what science says.
I don't think I'm gonna find it.
Science says you've got to test it.
This is true.
So you got to go test it.
What does this all prove here?
This proves the government's lying to us. We actually live on a flat surface and somebody or something or some ancient culture created where we're living.
So of all the
Okay.
celestial objects in the universe, our Earth is flat. Of the
Well,
sun-
I got
sun,
news for you.
black
Questions
holes.
about the other planets.
I'll answer that right now. The Earth is flat. There is a dome over the top, and everything else that you know of, is inside that dome. Everything.
Like the black hole that we
Stars.
just took a picture of like 5 million light years away.
The Eye of Sauron, you mean?
No.
I don't think they found anything like that. They're all lying about that.
The black hole
Everything
that we
is,
found.
yes,
Okay.
it's all CGI.
So black holes don't exist at the center of galaxies.
No, they exist in magnetics, though. Black holes exist in magnetics, but it's called something different. Yeah, they're mocking us at every turn. They're not serious. They're not stupid. They're deceitful. That's what you have to know. Yes. So this is what NASA has right on their website. Tell me which one's true. How can that be? Same diameter. See? Do you see what's on that picture?
The Earth, yeah. Looks
Yeah.
like it's round to me.
Now, which one is the United States?
Both of them, I don't fucking know. Like, that both looks like there's Florida right there.
Whoops! It didn't like it. The wind is a killer here
So
for
but
this.
let's take let's take parallax again.
Okay.
The efficiency of photography. That looks like a more clearer picture.
No, it's you can't have two different sizes of the United States when the diameter is the same. It's a deception. And these are right on the website. So from one year to the next, they have two different pictures. So what are they doing?
That picture on the right looks manufactured to me.
I think they're both manufactured.
It's going to be animated.
We found things in the clouds. We have a large community and we're growing. But they have found where they have done the repeat of the same cloud gathering. So it's like here, here, and here. They're just manufacturing these pictures. They are not real. We also have a guy named Matthew Boylan who was an artist for NASA. So that's what they do. And guess who was on the first board of NASA? Walt Disney. You know who he was?
Creator of Disney.
Yeah, Mr. Fantasy himself.
What about him?
He was the first board of NASA.
So what?
Yeah.
He taught them how to do all this stuff to fool the people.
Oh, so like how Steven Spielberg apparently taught them how to fake the moon landing?
No, it wasn't Steven Spielberg. It was.
Believe that the moon landing
Oh,
happened?
absolutely not. You cannot land on the moon.
Is the moon
You
real?
cannot land on the moon. The moon, if you know about the torus field, okay. Well, a torus field it's toroidal. It's electromagnetic.